right now I'm in the most in-between stage that I've probably ever been in my entire life, and it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it there's like a almost like a cosmic kind of goodness to it, because I know that ultimately where I'm at in life is just a part of the process, and that I'm learning as I'm experiencing all of the uncertainty that I'm feeling where I'm at right now. But to kind of give context of where I am, my name is Ken, and I'm 26, and I just graduated college like 2 weeks ago. And I went to college studying web design and development, and over my college career, I found myself kind of getting into the world of big tech and software engineering. And ever since I was a kid, my biggest dream has always been to get in a van and travel the country and do something big, do something artistic and do something big. And I didn't really know what that was, and I still don't completely really know what that is. But anyways, as I was doing my internship, I found myself surrounded by a lot of people that I like looked up to and who were living lives that I thought were kind of interesting. But while I was doing the work that I was doing in software engineering, I found myself like always feeling in the back of my mind that just something wasn't right, which was really annoying because I wanted to stay in tune with what I was doing. And I also have ADHD, and if you have ADHD, you probably understand this, but if I'm not like actively interested in or inspired by what I'm doing, it's almost like I completely check out. And it's a really painful process because I have yet to find a way to mitigate that. I can try to force my way through it, and like every time I've tried to force my way through doing things that I'm not actively inspired by or that I'm not actively interested in, it causes me to burn out. And it's really embarrassing. It causes a lot of shame. And that's just what I experienced while I was doing those software engineering internships, but really during the last one. But through that, I realized that, okay, I'm going to finish school and I'm going to graduate to prove, not to anyone, but to myself, that I am smart and that I can finish things that I want to finish. And I graduated with honors, which is exactly what I wanted to do. But now, of course, after I've graduated, I didn't really have any money, so of course I had to find a job to sustain myself, and now I have a job working in tech, and I actually kind of like my job, and I like the people that I'm working with, and it's cool because this job will actually let me go remote at some point. But at the end of the day, a job is a job, and jobs take a lot of like time and energy. And I find myself thinking when I'm at my job, I don't know how much longer this is going to last. And I kind of just feel like I'm using this place, this wonderful place, as like just like a stepping stone of where I want to be. And the place that I want to be ultimately is in my van, which I've already attained, traveling the country, and I want to be traveling the world. But I want to support myself by creating value and sharing it with other people like me, or creating content that I would have wanted to see when I was 13, 14, 15. And the kind of content that is content around how to become extremely intentional with what you want to do and how to design a life that allows that to happen without getting distracted by getting a high-paying job or going to a specific location. There are so many alternative ways of living that, with a little bit of creativity and a high amount of intention, can be achieved. And a lot of it has to come down to mindset and mentality about how you think and what you think you can achieve in your life. And a lot of things I thought were unachievable by me as someone with ADHD. I thought, I could never get an internship working in software engineering at a big tech company. And I did, because I changed my mindset. And I told myself that I could do anything. And I wanted to do it. So it happened. And the place I'm at now is, I feel like I know that I'm at my best when I'm able to dial in and focus in completely on one thing. And I know that I'm at my best when I'm like hyper focused, if that makes sense, where I enjoy what I'm doing and I feel fulfilled by it and a sense of passion. And I'm getting like a continuous loop of like, okay, this is working, this is what I want to continue doing. Or even if it's not working, if it's something that I'm learning from, that I'm enjoying, it's something that I will continue to do. So I say all that to say, I am in such an in-between space in life right now. At 26 years old, I just graduated college, and I feel like I'm very much so kind of flailing, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I just want to talk about it, because it's not a nice feeling at all. It's actually incredibly shitty. But it's like, at the same time, it's a good feeling because I know it's taking me somewhere and I know that I'm learning from it. But it's an incredibly isolating feeling. Especially when, for me, a lot of my friends are settling and they have apartments and jobs that they love and partners, and they're getting married, and some are having kids. And here I am at 26, and I'm like in a van and working part-time for a company that I don't know I'm going to stay at. I don't know if I'm going to stay at. And there's kind of like almost like an intrinsic masochism to just like being, I don't know, to kind of choosing this lifestyle. But it's I don't know, that I wanted to post this video to kind of show where I'm at in my life and show the imperfection of it all, because it is so imperfect. Van life, or living a life that's kind of alternative, is not like always, you don't always feel confident. And I know like deep down in my gut that this is what I want to be doing. I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But in my head, I still experience all the anxiety and all the like embarrassment and shame as any other person. And it's still really hard to navigate. And if there's anyone else out there who's experiencing this as well, you're certainly not alone. But that's where I'm at. So I'll kind of get into context of like literally where I am right now. The job I'm working at and the place I'm staying at in this van, my job is literally right over there. I work like, I don't know, 50 or so feet away, which is crazy. And the place I'm parked at is an apartment complex that my mom lives at, which is really convenient. So I can park in this apartment complex and it's okay, and I can stay in my van. And then I just kind of go through my days. I get up, I go to work, and then I come here. And the cool thing about where I work is that my leaders and my manager, they know that I'm interested in van life, and they're pretty supportive of it, which is really cool. So I'm going to be interning here at this company until August, and then they want to bring me on full-time. They've expressed this already. As for what position I'll go into, it depends on what's open at the time. I have an idea of what I'd like to go into. I'd like UI UX design, maybe. We'll see. But UI UX design is where I'd like to go, because I like designing. But right now I'm doing instructional design, which is actually pretty cool. So by the time August rolls around is when I may stay at this company and work for them full-time remotely, or I may do something else. It kind of just depends on what happens within these few months. But something else that I wanted to talk about with ADHD is that I've noticed that whenever I introduce the word should into my vocabulary or into my head about doing something that I either want to do or something that I feel I need to do, for whatever reason, I just like cease to want to do that thing anymore. And I don't know if it's the ADHD, I don't know if it's something else, but I I almost want to just like not even use the word should for myself anymore. Because I noticed that last year I started posting a lot of content about van life and about traveling, about all the things that I wanted to do in just my day-to-day life. And then as I grew in my following and my influence and all that stuff, I noticed that I kept feeling the should, feeling more and more often. Like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be posting a newsletter every week, I should be posting onto all the socials every day, I should be posting onto YouTube every week, all this stuff. I should be reaching out to brands, I should be building, AI tools, all the things. And I think that overwhelmed me to the point to where I felt like I couldn't do anything, or I felt completely paralyzed. And because I felt paralyzed, I didn't do anything. And for me, analysis paralysis, or just feeling overwhelmed by option, is the number one thing that will stop me from doing anything, even if I want to do those things in the back of my head. So at this point, I just want to follow my curiosity. And the word that I want to replace should with is want. Not I should do this, but I want to do this. I want to follow my curiosities. I have ADHD. It is something that will never go away. And there are things that I can do to kind of mitigate the severe effects of ADHD, but I have to learn how to work with my brain in ways that make me a healthy human, because ultimately I want to be a healthy human being. I feel like I'm pretty healthy right now, but I want to stay a healthy human being and continue to create art and create content that I'm interested in, that I want to create, that is interesting for other people as well, that can show people you can do this too, even if you're someone like me who is neurodivergent or queer or doesn't come from money, whatever, because I'm all of those things. It can be done. It's difficult and it's kind of treacherous and it's hard, but it can be done. I genuinely believe that anything can be done if you have the right mindset and the right mentality. And I know like a lot of Gen Z doesn't really talk like that anymore, but I genuinely believe that. I think that if you want to do something, whether it's buy a house or become a millionaire or travel the world, you can. And there may be systematic barriers that are in your way, 1,000%, but you can overcome those barriers. I genuinely believe that. And I think that if you believe that you can, you can. And if that you believe that you can't, you're right. So that's kind of the content. That style of content is what I'm interested in creating. Just like content about mentality around creating the life that you actually want. And kind of seeing through the bullshit that we keep having thrown at us as young people, as queer people, as black people, whatever kind of person that you are, and navigating that and living a life of true intention, whether you're in a van or on a boat or, in an apartment doing, whatever it is that you want to do, being able to see through that and find the real the real shit that matters. Because to me, what I think that matters truly, and I say this at 26 years old, my answer could change in a year from now, I don't know, but what I think matters is autonomy, community, financial independence, freedom of movement, structure, all of those things. And that is what I'm fighting for. Purposeness, a sense of purpose, a sense of passion, and being able to do that every day. That... Sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses. That look like a face to me. I don't know what... I think it's my fucking pillow. I don't know. That is what I'm fighting for. And something that I want to do today, I almost said should, but something that I want or that I'm interested in doing is deleting LinkedIn, because every time I look at that app, I compare myself to all of those students that I interned with and all of those students that are interested in working in big tech and making a big salary, and those students that are incredibly smart. I keep comparing myself to those people, and I keep telling myself, you need to fight to be that person in order to feel good about yourself. But what's crazy is I already did. I was already there. And I found myself there thinking, I am the most lonely that I have ever been. So all I can do now is eliminate distractions like that and become white hot and razor focused on what it is that I actually want, which is traveling and creating content that I think matters. Now, I'll probably be able to whittle down what that content is, because when I talk about the content that I want to create for other people, I'm kind of all over the place with it, because it's really all over the place. It's nebulous. I'm still figuring it out. But that's what I want to do. And if I experience hardship while doing that, that's okay. That's going to happen. Because I think that no matter what path you decide to go down in life, there's I think this was Mark Manson in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck that made this kind of analogy. But no matter what path you go down in life, there's going to be a pile of shit waiting for you. So you might as well go down the path that you want to go down and experience and deal with that pile of shit, because at least maybe it'll be worth it because you're doing the thing that you want to do, as opposed to going down a path that you're not really so sure that you want to go down, but you're going down it because you feel like you should go down it, and then boom, there's the pile of shit, and then that takes you out. I would rather deal with the pile of shit going down the path that I want to go down. So I say all this to say, this is where I'm at in life. I haven't been posting content because I've felt like I don't really know what to say. And posting this video in its imperfect state is an attempt at me to try and egg myself forward and continue creating content, even if I feel like it's not perfect, even if I feel like my message isn't completely on, even if I feel not good about myself or just uncertain. Because again, in this point in my life, I feel more uncertain than I've ever felt. But all I can do is continue moving forward. So this is me attempting to move forward. And hopefully, maybe I'll grow my confidence from continuing to try to do this. So we'll see. Thanks for watching. And if you want to continue following my journey in van life and building a life for myself and trying to help other people do the same thing and creating art and sharing that, feel free to follow or subscribe or drop a like, whatever you want to do. And I'll catch you in the next video.